Hey there, creepy peeps, and welcome to another new movie review. Today we are going to be talking about The Prodigy. Really quick though, before I get into anything, I want to give a shout out to Miko, who is a patron that you've probably seen on my patron list a lot. She's been a patron for a while, but recently changed tiers, so I wanted to give her a shout out really quick. So directed by Nicholas McCarthy, The Prodigy follows a mother who is concerned about her young son's disturbing behavior and thinks that something supernatural may be affecting him. So non-spoiler talk. I thought the film was technically well done. Like, I really loved the muted color palette. I feel like that's pretty common in horror, but whenever everything looks like overcast and just like kind of gray scale and muted, and I love it. I need to not live in Florida where it's like the sunniest freaking place on the earth. And the editing was also creative in parts. I feel like the editing, there were just like certain scenes where the editing really stood out in a good way, and I feel like it saved some of the scenes from being too predictable or too lazy, maybe is the word I want to say. I don't know if lazy is the way I want to put it, but it was just creative. There were scenes where the editing got really creative in a good way and it stood out and I liked it. The performances were also really good. Jackson Robert Scott, who plays our main character Miles. You'll remember him as Georgie in 2017's It. Effectively creepy. I'll get more into his performance in the spoiler section. I can't say too much without spoiling anything, so I'll just leave it at it was really good. Ultimately though, the movie was super predictable, like plot-wise. Didn't bring anything new to the table necessarily, and I'll get more into that in the spoiler section. I feel like neither the plot nor the characters were developed really well. Like, it just felt very shallow, and I feel like they could have done more. That was the feeling I was left with in this movie. Now we're about to get into the spoiler section, and I will just say there is a time code in the description, so you can go look and see when the spoiler section ends if you want to skip this part. So I didn't hate the direction the plot took with the whole reincarnation thing. When I first heard about the movie and saw the trailer, you know, you're looking at it and you're like, well, this could either go one of two ways. It could be like he is just a psycho kid who's, you know, gonna become a serial killer sort of movie, or it could be like a possession thing. I mean, it was a possession movie, but not in the like demonic sense. It was literally like the spirit of a dead serial killer inhabited this boy. So it didn't play out in exactly the way I thought it was going to. So I thought it was a creative premise in that sense, but the rest of it did play out like your typical kind of demonic possession movie, unfortunately. I did like Scott's performance though, as I mentioned earlier. I can't imagine it's easy to be a kid actor and have to play as an adult, which, you know, that just can't be easy, especially some of the lines that this kid says in the movie. Like, oh man. He did a great job though, and I really thought his facial expressions, the way his face changed when he went from being Miles to being Edward, was really good actually. Overall though, I didn't straight out hate the movie, but it was super predictable. It felt like it was something I'd seen many times over, so it's not something I'm necessarily gonna go back and watch, or it's just one of those movies that if it just happens to be on TV, like you just turn it on for like background noise sort of thing. So that being said, I'm gonna give this a rating of 2.5 out of 5. On IMDb, it has a 6.1 out of 10. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 47% critic score and a 53% audience score. And on Letterboxd, it has a 2.6 out of 5. So if you went and saw The Prodigy this weekend, let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about it. As always, I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new here and become a creepy peep today. And you can also ring that notification bell down there to be notified every time I post a video, even though it never works. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay strange. Bye. This video is brought to you by all of these awesome Patreon supporters who are listed here on the screen. Thank you guys so much for your support. If you want to find out the perks to being a creepy patron peep, you can follow that link that's in the description box. And if you want to check out more videos, you can click the video that's on the screen right now.